Hello Southies, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, my name is Ceci, and today I'm doing another speed build. And I think the last speed build I did before this video was my dream house build, so it's been maybe like a week or so since the last speed build, and I'm kind of excited for this one because it is one that surprisingly at one point was really difficult for me. And I say surprisingly because it is the most simple design in my opinion, but when I first tried to build this house a long time ago, maybe like a year and a half ago, I just couldn't get it. And I think it's because it is so simple, and simplistic designs in The Sims don't always look very good, but I just love this house. I'm going to throw up a picture of it right now. I think it is so cool. It's so pretty. It's a very modern design, which isn't something that I really do that often. I kind of myself like the more ornate looking types of builds, or like the suburban, sort of traditional suburban type of build. So a house like this, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but again, it's just so simple that I wondered if it would look good in The Sims. Plus, there were elements of this build that until now I really couldn't put together. For instance, the little pop-out window. Of course, I can't do it 100% the way it is done in the photo, but with the eco lifestyle windows, I was kind of able to do a version of it that I liked. And as you can see, I started this build off in in Willow Creek, and then I moved it to Oasis Springs just because I feel like modern designs, it just looks better in Oasis Springs, in my opinion. Now, I will say there are areas in the city where I live where you have some very older traditional style homes that were built, in the 50s, 40s, next to brand new modern homes that look kind of like this, like very sort of experimental in their design, and it looks really cool. So it probably could have stayed in Willow Creek, but I decided to move it to Oasis Springs just because I just felt it would look a lot better. So the family that I came up with to live in this house is a single mom and her 2 children, a teenage son and a child daughter. And I imagine that the mom is an architect. I know we don't have architects in the game, but I figured that if she probably like designed this house, and she designs houses, so maybe the gameplay that you could have is you can just meet random Sims and rebuild their houses. If they have a house, if they don't have a house, if they're not in a world, you can get to know them and build their house in the world, and then give your simoleons based on that house. So that's kind of how I've done that kind of gameplay before in my own personal play when I wanted one of my Sims to be a architect. And so I figured that the mom designed this house, and she is a architect for houses, and she does really modern builds. And then the teenage son wants to become a YouTube gamer sensation, so his bedroom will be sort of done up like that. And then the daughter is obsessed with animals and wants to become a veterinarian. I actually will be using my first pet stuff, the little, I guess, is it a gerbil decal or decoration, or I guess it's not a decoration, but the little gerbil habitat. So this house is 3 bedrooms. It's got a great room and then a kitchen, and yeah, the master suite is downstairs and the kids' rooms are upstairs with the family bathroom. So that is how I designed this place. So with this house, the build came together fine, even the back of the build, which the photo did not show what the back of the build looked like. and the layout came together pretty quickly. The hardest part of this build for me was the decorating, because it's such a modern design. I wasn't sure how to do it. Like, all of my builds are normally very cozy suburban style houses. I think I might have one other modern build on the channel, maybe not. I'm just not comfortable with modern builds in that style, and so trying to figure out how to decorate this place was a bit of a headache. It went through a couple of different iterations. I did not include them all because I wanted this video to be sort of short and sweet, but sort of when I found the family's voice in this house, I was able to put together, I think, a space, especially this shared living room space, pretty quickly. Like, I imagine, because of the sleek design of the house, that the mom wants a very sleek design in the living room and in her bedroom with a little bit of color. And then, of course, she's going to allow the kids to kind of do their own thing, but she still wants them to kind of be sort of sleek and minimalistic. So that's kind of how I tried to put the living room together. I wanted it to have a very minimal vibe. So as you can see, I used the eco lifestyle fireplace. I'm obsessed with that fireplace, and I think it definitely fits here in the Oasis Springs. If you look at desert style homes, desert style living rooms, that type of fireplace is one that you will see. And then I just use a mix of seating in this area. I kind of try to make it look like they were sort of in not a circle, but in a configuration to where you could have a conversation with everybody sitting in here, and you wouldn't have to break your neck to do it in order to do that. And then there is a television, but it's kind of like off in the corner, because I feel like this mom isn't necessarily about television, and probably until her son decided he wanted to become a gamer, wasn't big on her kids having a lot of technology, but probably saw that for him, it's his passion, it's what he likes to do. It's like a kid who likes to play football, or, you know, likes to cheer or something like that. So she allows it, right? But downstairs in the shared living space, we have like a small, simple television. Here's the kitchen. I would think that maybe in houses that she designs, her kitchens are elaborate, but this mom, I don't think is much of a cook. I don't think that she really cares too much about the kitchen, so I just made it small with a good sized table, enough seating for the family, and then maybe to entertain. This probably isn't a house where they do a heck of a lot of entertaining, at least not throw large parties or anything like that. That's why you don't see a bar or anything of that nature, but she probably doesn't mind having a few friends over. And so now I'm working on the master bedroom. Again, I tried to think of a really minimalistic design with a touch of personality. I think in real life, I would love to be minimalistic, and I try to declutter every 6 months, get rid of things that I don't use all of the time. But my personal style vibe is so bohemian. And I feel bohemian is all about, the knickknacks, the throw pillows, the throws, just the little various items that make your home feel super cozy. And minimalistic style doesn't seem that cozy to me. I know there's probably ways to do it where it feels super cozy, but it just seems like a really more practical style. That's kind of sleek, or at least the type of minimalistic vibes that I like, is a very practical, sleek design, neutral in a way that's kind of more dark. But yeah, and so for her room, we have that kind of pop of color. So this room over here is sort of the utility room. The kitchen at one point was bigger. So at one point you could access this room through the kitchen, but then I wanted to make this outdoor space bigger, and then I figured Mom doesn't really care about cooking, so she doesn't care about having the kitchen. So I throw in the laundry in here, and then just some knickknack items that make it feel like this is for storage. This is where they keep all the storage stuff. Maybe they're a family that likes to go camping, so I tried to put some things in there that they could camp with. I might add in some of the beds from Seasons for outdoor retreat for camping, because yeah, that might be a good idea. And so this is the master bathroom. Not very very interesting. It's black and white. I like black and white design. I think black and white houses, black and white interiors are so pretty and so sleek. Again, personal style. I want some color. I want it to be vibrant. I want it to just be like you're living in a bohemian nightmare. And so you'll see I'm going upstairs. I'm just pulling up elements upstairs, like the floor, the concrete flooring. I think concrete flooring is so beautiful. I live in an apartment that is mostly carpet, and then in the kitchen and the bathroom it's this like faux laminate but made to look like it is hardwood. And I think again concrete lends itself to more of a minimalistic style, but I think if I were ever to get a house, I want concrete flooring. I don't know, cover it up with rugs. So now I'm working on the little girl's room, and like I said, she's obsessed with animals, so I tried to find all of the animal elements in the game. The rug is a turtle, and then of course we have the little gerbil set up on the side, and then a lot of the pictures that you'll see later are very animal inspired. And then here is the son's room. I want him to be a gamer and maybe like a YouTube sensation, so I put the little vlogging desk set up in the room. I will player test it. Hopefully he could get around that door to the outside, which I don't think this is the type of kid that really purposefully goes outside that much, but you know, he's got this really cool balcony. Both of the bedrooms upstairs have balconies, so I want him to be able to get out there. I put like a little chair out there for him to sit on, because in my mind I think the mom does not want anything to make the house look cluttered, and so there's very minimal things allowed on the balcony. And then I put this little computer set up with some TVs to act as extra monitors, because you can game on here. I might put I guess like for the online Wi-Fi type gaming that you can do, you need a console, but then you'd need a TV. I don't know. I didn't want to add too much stuff in this room because I didn't want it to feel too cluttered. Of course, I added some of these lights from Strangerville because I was kind of thinking like TikTok kind of teenager that has the multicolored lights in his room, and while he games, he has them in his room and they kind of illuminate the room in different colors. For artwork, I tried to go for interesting artwork pieces that the mom might have acquired over the years that make it look expensive. This wall above the bookcase for right now is going to be bare. Once I go to take the screenshots, I'm going to put a picture of the family up there, and that way it will look a little bit more homey. But for the rest of the space, I want the artwork to look like it's super expensive. Maybe she's been gifted these things, or they've been little splurge buys for her efforts. So yeah, again, a very minimalistic style, which I honestly think came out great. I did add some plants to bring in some life into this design, and I think for me that is why it was so hard to sort of put together this living room, especially this living room space, because where was I going to bring in the life? Normally life comes from plants, and it comes from natural tones and that kind of thing, like woods and colors. And so I had to figure out a way to bring in life but not make it overpowering, because I do want this room to have that very minimalist vibe to it. So yeah, and so now I'm working on just adding in those clutter items, those knickknacks, those things that make each space unique and your very own. Kind of my process when I build is I put all the big things down first, kind of get the design together, and then I go through and I clutter. And that's how I like to do it. Everybody has their own way of decorating and building. So if it does bother you, oh well, you can get over it. One thing I wanted to do with the son's room is put up posters and things in a way where they would look cool in the background of his videos. So that's why I have like that little sort of collage art on the wall behind his bedroom, and then I try to do his bed, and then I try to do something with the vlogging camera where that would be in view. Again, I'm here in the little girl's room putting up as much animal related stuff as I could find. There's so much animal stuff in this game without cats and dogs, or no, I guess not without cats and dogs. I guess a lot of the animal stuff comes with cats and dogs in my first stuff pack. But yeah, I try to put as much of it in here as possible, again, without it being cluttered. Of course, I've got the little nightlife, because you need the night light for kids, because they will freak out in the middle of the night and come and wake you up because they have monsters under the bed. I'm trying to think. I don't think I was ever afraid of monsters under the bed. I know sometimes when my room would get ridiculously dark at night, it was kind of weird. But I don't think I was ever afraid of there being monsters in my room or anything like that. I'm not sure. Maybe my parents would know. I don't remember having those fears. My fears were like, I was afraid of getting sucked down the bathroom drain, and I was afraid of the escalator. Like super irrational fears that make zero sense. And so here you can see I'm working on the outside. I gave the daughter bees. Now, I don't think kids can interact with bees, but teenagers can. So I imagine you could age her up pretty quickly and she can have her own little bee collection. Again, this is the son's balcony. Like, I just put a little chair out there. Here is the family setup. I didn't put a barbecue pit because, again, I don't think mom really cares about that stuff. I put not only a laptop with a little slab sort of tablet out here too, so that you can do artwork and kind of in your gameplay pretend like she's designing a home or designing a house, and then she could probably gift it to the sim that she's going to be designing for in order to show, here are the plans that I have developed for the house. I don't know, just sometimes you got to get kind of creative in your gameplay and come up with things in order to make it fun and interesting and exciting to you, and you can do that without having to rely on the game itself or having to rely on mods if you just sort of use your imagination a little bit. So we're about a minute out from the end of the video. Not too many housekeeping items. I am on Twitch. I stream Wednesdays and Fridays in the evenings. Well, it depends. Check my Twitter to figure out what day or times I'm going to stream, but those are definitely the designated days. Sometimes I will build houses that I am going to end up doing a speed build on my Twitch, so definitely follow me on there and check me out. But we are coming up on the end of the build, so if you enjoyed this video, let me know what way of pressing the like button. Comment down below your thoughts. What type of style of house do you like to build? What kind of style do you like IRL? I would love to know that. And if you haven't already and you want to see more content from me, please subscribe. I try to post every week, and I would love to have you be a part of the Southie family. As always, my name is Ceci, and I promise never to break your game. Bye.